So as the 2026 anime winter season is in the stages of finalizing, I just wanted to come up here and talk about pretty much the wrap up of it. And I just wanted to share with the animes that I watched during the season what my biggest takes from it and what my overall thoughts about it. So without further ado, let's get into this random talk. So the five animes that I watched during this winter season were Freeing, JJK, Fire Force, My Hero Academia Vigilantes, and Hell's Paradise. I picked up on some when it comes to me watching him. And I picked up one thing that I found in common. It was that my favorite characters from each series were showcased in a big spotlight. For instance, to go through which one, when it comes to Freerin, my favorite character is Fern. And they showed her a few moments of when she's up there with the moon and the stars, sniping people down, just like the episode that just aired a couple days ago on Friday, where they was dealing with the massive wolf from the last village from 30 years ago. I love this. I love that. I love seeing that. When it comes to JJK, it was Maki. Obviously, we all know the Zenin massacre. We all know how great that was. She just looked amazing to me. And one of the reasons why I like Maki is because I personally love seeing strong women characters, so she just fits that perfectly. And also, Megumi, one of my favorite characters too. And we also seen all the great stuff he did. When it comes to Fire Force, it's Benny Maru and Arthur. They're my two favorite characters from there. Obviously, we had Benny Maru going up against his former captain's doppelganger. That was really good. Also, Arthur, in a way that he had this whole fight when I mentioned the whole David Goliath situation that he was in with one of the strongest guys. Also, with him recently being the main catalyst to awaken Shira from his despair that he was consumed by, which would ultimately lead to Shinra and Mari, which is their mom's name, figuring all this stuff out against Hamiya and the Evangelist. We got My Hero Academia Vigilantes with Knuckle Duster. And one thing I picked up with that is from the ending of season 1 and the ending of season 2, Knuckle Duster ended up being a person that helps close the seasons out. Obviously, with season 1 with him and his daughter. In season 2 now, we got Knuckle Duster and number 6. The way they showcase that, especially with the ties of him going up against number 6, who has the quirk that Knuckle Duster had, and the way he settled that, that was really good. When it comes to Hell's Paradise, one of my favorite characters I see from there is Shion, just because the person that he is. And obviously, we showcase his backstory as to why he has the scars on his eyes. It's now his character is pretty much in full now. We finally got to see and uncover the mystery of Shion. That kind of made me like him more, and especially he was on this whole avenge one of his comrades kind of thing, but he has his mindset of protecting a newer guy by sacrificing himself. But we all seen how it turned out for those who watched Hell's Paradise. So that was the one thing they had in common for something I picked up. It was just me personally. It seemed like to me I got very lucky with it because seeing some of my favorite characters from each respective series get up there and do their thing in a big spotlight as such, that made it really nice. But in this case, I want to go over with each anime my biggest takeaway from each one that I've watched. Starting with Freerin, the biggest takeaway for me is that they brought back characters that I honestly didn't believe they wasn't really gonna bring back. The three characters I want to talk about is Denkin, Genau, and Methode. Obviously, I was thinking this way because when season 1, I believe that they gave them some moments, they gave them some highlights to where people can sit there and say, hey, I think this character is interesting. Hey, I think this character is my favorite. Hey, I want to learn more about this character. I think they did just enough just for people to at least have people keep an eye on them, as I'll say. But in season 2, they brought back Ganao and Methode. to put him in an even bigger spotlight to me, especially Methode, I'll say. Methode was the person that really stood out for me as far as returning characters in my eyes, just based off of how she was presented and how she was being discussed throughout the time that she was being reintroduced to us. And that was a close second because of all the mental battles that he was going through and facing. And also Denkin, because I think Denkin was arguably the most interesting new face that they showed in season one. And obviously the way that they showcase him at the end of Freerun episode 2 with him standing on the hilltop and they explain that he's gonna go up against Mach, who was the leader of the Seven Devils. So outside of all the stuff that we all know and love Freerun and what they do, that was the biggest highlight for them. Going to JJK, the biggest highlight for me was the way that they introduced new characters. I raved about the way they did this, explaining that they do that really well. Them showcasing new characters, they do a really good job with doing a lot with them in a short amount of time. It's not in the case of, oh, we're going to showcase them, just a couple things about it, and we're just going to go ahead and buy our business. They pretty much went all out with each character that was showcased. Mainly Hiromi Higuruma because he was the star of season 2 when it comes to new stars. Obviously, I said later on he just took the internet world by storm for back-to-back weeks. He was almost up there with Toji as far as that. And also with the season finale that I do believe most of us watched with Euro. They did it with Ishigori. And also with Kirari and Hikari. Those two people have also took the internet world by storm probably longer than Hiromi and Karuma. Or at least they two match up with each other. But just how they showcase their powers, also the uniqueness of the powers, and also the character designs, and they also put them in a comedic spotlight. And obviously, I can't forget about Reggie. I think Reggie's power was really, really cool. He was one of my favorites. And also Takuba. He was the person that was seen as a gag character, was showcased as a gag character, but they said that this man could rival with people like Gojo. And we all know how Gojo can get down. The biggest highlight from them was how they showcased new characters really, really well. That was my biggest highlight from them. When it comes to Fire Force, my biggest takeaway from them was something that inspired me yesterday. And it was a comment that I saw last night. I made a TikTok video I posted on YouTube Shorts about Fire Force displaying one of my favorite name drops, and that was Soul Residence. When I heard that was really nice. Someone made a comment saying that they love the biblical aspects of this season. They love how they did like I mentioned before, the David versus Goliath with Arthur and I forgot the dude's name. And they was doing the virgin babies aspect. They was doing all the things that humans go through, both positive and negative, that could lead to hope and despair. We got Hamiya that was poised as this angel, and we got Shira who was poised as the devil. Who's obviously, we all know for biblical people, the devil was also an angel. So I would say the biggest highlight from Fire Force is the concepts that they use and how they executed them. Yeah, I do believe that that was the biggest takeaway for me. And I thought about it for a minute, but seeing that comment last night really kind of solidified it for me. So you know who you are here. I hope you're watching this, but if you are, I really appreciate the comment. My Hero Academia Vigilantes. My biggest takeaway from them is they still do a really nice job doing the Saturday morning cartoon vibe and feel, just like they did in season one. They kind of just in a situation where we're gonna pick up where we left off. We're gonna just still go at it with this, and we're still gonna have this formula. We're still gonna do it right because I love cartoons. I grew up watching cartoons my whole life, and seeing a Saturday morning cartoon feel, they do it the right way. I think that was really nice. But my main focal point I wanted to bring up is, for those probably thinking, is obviously got to be Aizawa's backstory. You finally got to see Shirakumo and see how he unfortunately passed. We're seeing all the things that he did before he eventually went away. And for those who don't know, he was the Korigiri that President Mike and Aizawa was trying to figure out in the My Academia space. But obviously, I think that was the easy main takeaway from me because now we finally got to see it after watching Mario for all these years, and we could also connect the two things together. And it really put a lot of introspective in Aizawa. I think a lot of people rock with Aizawa more after seeing his backstory. I think that is a common case in anime where they once you see a character's backstory, you just kind of resonate with him more. It might not have you be his favorite character, but at least you can at least respect it. I'll say that much. So that was my main takeaway from there. The main takeaway from Hell's Paradise is pretty much the discussions both the good and bad side had with each other when it comes to the Tao and how to say the Tao is basically the human soul, which they showed us so many ways that you can control Tao, so many ways you can decept it, deceive it, you can gain stuff from it, you can take things away from people when it comes to the Tao. And also, I would say the brothers that they had, I forgot the dude's names, but it was the brothers that one of them kind of resembles Bakugo kind of way with the aggressive style. And the swordsman, who was his brother, that was the shy, soft spoken person who's still trying to figure himself out as a human. Those dynamic between those two, those were my biggest highlights from them. So those two, they grown, they were able to establish themselves even more, but also establish their brotherhood. And I just really like how they showcase those two things out, both the discussion about Tao and also the dynamic between the two brothers. So yeah, man, those were the animes that I watched. Those were my biggest takeaway. The one thing I have in common with it, I do understand that I didn't watch every single winter anime that came out. One that been kind of taking the anime space by storm is Sentence to Be a Hero. I may start watching that soon. I already seen the season 2 has already been announced, so the season 1's over. So I might give it a spin soon. I might not. I'm gonna juggle through the animes that I have in the vault, and I'm just gonna see which one I'm gonna start off with. But Sentence to Be a Hero may be the next one. Maybe I can't make any promises, but let me know which the anime winter season shows that dropped. Let me know which ones that you watched. Did you like them? Did you hate them? What were your biggest takeaways from it? What's something that you think they had in common? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm all ears. With that being said, if you want to do all the stuff that every YouTuber said in their videos, you can do that or not. Like I always say, you're grown. You can do whatever you want. With that being said, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.